Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to World of Wrestling Today News. I am your host, Jason Dreamer. Um, this news report today is going to cover the results of a wrestling company that I used to do the posting results for on Facebook that is based out of Rhode Island. The company is called Rhode Island Championship Wrestling. This is actually the first time since I left Rhode Island over 2 years ago. And this will be the first time I'm covering their results in that time frame. I want to give a shout out to the gentleman that I get my results from for this one, and that is Corey Luncore, a good friend of mine. He looks like he could be my twin brother, although I don't want to saddle him with that sad fate, and I won't saddle him with that. I'm just saying he could be. Anyways, he went this past Saturday to RICW's version of WrestleMania, which is called a Night of Honor, which is in honor of former RICW owner AJ Riot. And where that was a long time ago, I won't get into that because there's some people here that will be watching this video who don't even know who AJ Riot is, and that's why I'm doing this, is to spread the word about Rhode Island Championship Wrestling and any shows that come out of the venue known as the Chop Shop Part 2, which is based in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, where I used to live for several years. Matter of fact, I can actually say I lived there for about, let's see. I moved there when I was in 4th grade. I was 12. I can actually say I lived there about 2 decades. Almost. 20 years almost. Anyways, the results out of RICW Night of Honor 5 is from back on June 23rd, so that was this past Saturday. And the results were, in the opening contest, Tyler Payne defeated the insane Dick Lane. After winning the match, Tyler Payne called out RICW Original, meaning he was an original member of the roster when it opened, and that being TJ Swift. As I get more info as to whether that challenge has been accepted or not, I will let you know. Former RWA wrestler, which I will be getting to in another news video, covering their upcoming 2-night event of RWA Legacy. Former RWA wrestler Billy Ware defeated a former, I shouldn't say former, I think he might still be with him, but Billy Ware defeated Nova Promotions representative Jack Kruger in a Riot Rules match for the to become the new RICW Warzone champion. Now, a Riot Rules match is basically the same thing as a hardcore or an extreme rules match, basically. But in the Riot Rules match, you tend to see a little bit of blood leaking out, because these guys are more hardcore wrestlers than WWE cares to get, except for that one match with Randy Orton and that one match with Roman Reigns where Brock Lesnar busted both of them wide the hell open. But then again, Brock was using MMA style fighting because the man has got an ego in that ring that he's the best in MMA and wrestling. In a way, I'm getting off topic. I apologize, but I had to just paint that parallel real quick about how hardcore these RICW guys are. I should know I've been in the ring with a couple of them when I was a wrestler, and I actually did 2 shows for them at the request of AJ Bailey. No. AJ Riot, sorry. AJ Bailey's someone I know outside the company, when he's not in a, when he was not, how shall I put this? It was when he was not feeling the power of rioting. I know I'm pulling the curtain back. I know I'm going to get a lot of wrestlers angry at me, but AJ Bailey called himself AJ Riot in the ring because, well, that's the only thing that you could have done to slow that boy down in the ring, is let a full-scale riot break out, which is why they call it Riot Rules. So, any RICW guy watching this that's kind of angry at me, I apologize, but that's my memory of how he explained it to me. Of course, that was shortly after I first met him, so that's my memory of the day I met the guy. And he was awesome. Granted, in our tag team title match after we lost, he turned on me because he was a member of the franchise players at the time. And yeah, I know I said news, and this is news to a lot of people because they don't know my wrestling history. I should separate it later, but as you can see, this channel's just starting to grow with its content. So I'm going to cross the line a few times before I feel safe on just how much content I do for this channel. Yes, that includes those that are wondering what my other content is. If you have already watched my explanation of the channel video, you know what those other things are. If not, go ahead and watch that video right now and then come back to this video if you stop mid-video. But anyways, back to the results, because I am rapidly approaching my 20-minute time limit that I put on myself for this episode. Billy Ware's the new RICW Warzone champion after their Riot Rules match with Jack Kruger. Vinny Abruzzi defeated, and if you take this the wrong way, I apologize, but I do kind of have a little bit of a tendency to not have a filtered mouth. I'm kind of like, well, I'll tell you what I've been told, outright, without a filter. I've been told by other people I am the poor man's Jim Cornette. Funny how I say that now, because when I first started in the ring, I was looked at as a poor man's Tommy Dreamer because of my name. People would assume that there was a relation there. There isn't. Even though I do enjoy using a good kendo stick every once in a blue moon. Yeah, I know. Too many parallels to Tommy Dreamer right there to make you think we are related, but we're not. Myself and Mr. Tommy Dreamer are nothing alike. He's the innovator. Why does it look like...
Okay, yes, I've got my curtain open and I can see outside the window next to me, and I could have sworn I just saw a flock of birds flying low, so please forgive me if every once in a while I get sidetracked like that, because I am on the third floor. So, they got a habit of landing on the windowsill outside of this room. I know I'm going to get in trouble that with at least one or two of the people in the chat below. Well, I shouldn't say chat, in the comment section below. Please don't hang on me too much on this. Like I said, I am just really starting to grow this channel, so it's gonna look unprofessional a little. So please forgive me. Don't take it the wrong way, like I don't know what I'm doing. I do. It's just that I am not sorted out yet. Other results I'm going to peruse through here as quick as I can with few in between interruptions like that. I do apologize for the little to no filter. If you don't want your kids watching this, because of my language, I apologize in advance for any and every swear that may come out of my mouth. Vinny Abruzzi defeated badass Brian Shovelton. Jammin' Jack Connor and Cass Lucas to become the #1 contender for the RICW Inner City Championship, which is their version of the Intercontinental Championship, I believe, if I recall right. That's also their version of the Impact Wrestling X Division Championship, and I will explain that one later in the show. And I apologize if I sound like the American version of Wrestle Talk's Ollie Davis, but I am going to sound very monotone because I am working with basic equipment. That way, it feels more real to you than some. Vinny Abruzzi ended up pinning Brian Shovelton for the win. Now, the next match was a tag team ladder match for the RICW Tag Team Championship. That match was the team of Eddie Vegas and Johnny Mata, known as Pumpalicious, defeating the champions Detox, which is the team of Jason Devine and Ricky Medeiros. Eddie Vegas and Johnny Mata both pulled down one belt each at the same time to become the new tag team champions. Our next match was the triple threat #1 contenders match for the RICW Universal Championship, which in my opinion is a very prestigious title and the top title there at RICW, unlike the title of the Universal title that Brock Lesnar owns. And I will be getting into that when I do my video for World of Wrestling Today, which is supposed to be a 30-minute time limit today.
Tony Clash, Showtime Tony Clash, defeated Jamie Tucker and the Ace Mike Montero to become the #1 contender for the Universal Championship. Tony Clash pinned Jamie Tucker. Moving on to the next match, Chazz Marinelli defeated Hunter Kane in a Monsters Ball match. Chazz Marinelli is one hell of a wrestler. I'm putting him over because he actually does have a tremendous amount of in-ring skill. And that is a skill I just could never match. That's why he never had to worry about ever facing me in the ring. Because compared to him, I did suck. But that's because every time I went to get in the ring with guys of his caliber, I would just totally lose my confidence in myself because I have that issue. I get in my own head. And my skill suffers. So that's why I retired from wrestling the second time, and why I intend to stay retired until I can get myself focused and remember I beat myself every time I get in my own head. The next match was a last man standing match for the Inner City Championship. Christopher Dozer defeated Nick Marchand to retain the RICW Inner City Championship. Moving along, because I've got a short time left on the video. Little Daddy Bravo, the lowlife, defeated the King of Suicide, Johnny Marinelli, in a dog collar match to retain the RICW Universal Championship. I think I skipped this. That Dozer Marchand match was a last man standing match, by the way. Yes, I'll know better for next time. After Little Daddy Bravo retained the RICW Universal Championship, there was a short moment of celebration by the lowlife before the doom music hit. The unbalanced Messiah, Christopher Dozer, cashed in his RICW Inner City Championship option, which comes around at Night of Honor on a yearly basis. And the Inner City Championship is now vacated when doing this, and the person who holds the belt at the time gets an instant shot at the RICW Universal title. And that was our main event, in which Christopher Dozer defeated Little Daddy Bravo to become the new RICW Universal Champion. Now, ladies and gentlemen, in this short wrap-up, I got 30 seconds. RICW, RWA, anything at the Chop Shop Part 2 in Pawtucket. If there's a show, go to it. You will not be disappointed. I promise you that. Well, that's the news for now. I will see you later in the next news video for RWA Legacy Preview. Jason Dreamer signing off.